Greetings from Dallas, Texas once again, and today I'm gonna bring you a subject I've never tackled, meeting a Kenyan who is in the mortgage sector, I'll call it mortgage industry, and her name is Faith Kiunga. Karibu Faith.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you for
Tulikutana
having
na
me.
Faith kwa event ya Diaspora Mount Kenya Economic Block.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was exhibiting there. And I'm glad now we've had time to sit down.
Sure.
And so tell us exactly, what do you do?
I'm a mortgage lender or a mortgage originator. Most people know it like a mortgage lender. So we act like a bank, but for us it's different because we work with so many banks to give our buyers the best rate. We do not work with one specific bank. Like let's say when you go to Chase Bank, all they have is Chase products. When you go to Bank of America, all they have is Bank of America products. But for a mortgage lender, we work with like a variety of them. So we are able to give the buyer the best rate. I'm licensed in Texas, so it means I can give mortgage to anybody in Texas. It doesn't matter the city. So we are more like self-employed, I would say, because we go out and look for buyers. So we're actually the first point of contact, because a buyer has to come to me to know how much they are pre-approved for before even we start shopping for a home.
Buying property in the USA, it seems then mortgage or lending is quite key.
Yes.
As your most reliable way of acquiring a property.
Yes, yes.
So, and what are probably the things that one needs to do?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, or to know, or to have in order to get that lending.
Mortgage is not complicated as people think, or probably you don't need a lot of money in the bank as most people think. So we look at a few things, and the must-haves, I would say, we look at 2 years of employment. 2 years of employment? Yes, so we want to know for the last 2 years, have you been working? And are you still currently working? If you're self-employed, we want to know, have you had your business for the last 2 years? Are you still, running your business? Then we have to verify also you have some assets in the bank. We want to make sure like you can keep up with the monthly mortgage payments. Then another thing we look at is something called the credit score, which is very, very vital in the process of buying. In the US, actually, you cannot get a mortgage without a credit score. Not unless you're buying cash. So that is very, very vital. So a credit score is what? Tell us more. Yes. So a credit score, basically it runs anywhere between 300 to 800 or sometimes 820. It shows the ability of how you are able to repay back a loan or probably a debt. So the only way to come up with a credit score or create one is you get a credit card from the bank or you get a loan. And the way you pay it on time, the ability
so they look
for you
at
to repay
your
back.
History, your ability to pay, and your trend. Are you someone that can be trusted to pay? So that's why it's known as credit worthiness?
Yes.
So who is your typical client?
My typical client, I would say, is someone who is looking to buy. I also do something called refinancing. I tell people, if you can afford to pay your rental or your lease payments every month, you can afford to pay your mortgage payments. There's not much of a difference. People just are afraid to step out and own homes.
So how long have you been doing this?
Just to take you a little back, I came to this country in 2011 to do my master's. So I have an MBA in finance, so I've been an accountant all through. Then during COVID, that's when I really ventured into the mortgage industry. And I'm glad I did it because number one, I love real estate. And since then, I've been able to close 46 homes. 46 homes. Yes. Well done, Faith.
Thank you. Thank you. What challenges do you face maybe?
I would say probably one of the major challenges I face is for people who are employed by a company or are W-2'd, we really do not look at the taxes as such. They pay taxes per every paycheck. But for business people and self-employed people, there's a way they have to file their taxes right for them to buy a home. The thing that has really helped me is because with the accounting knowledge, plus I've also filed taxes before, so I'm able to advise people now to file the taxes the right way. Their paperwork has to align with what we look for when they're buying. I'm here to encourage, especially people from back home. It's very important and it's key to build generational wealth. As we just talked a little bit about the equity, even if you own your first home, you can buy your second-hand home very easily. And as we have seen during the discussion, you don't need that much you just need the knowledge and to work with the right people who are gonna guide you the right way.
My name is Sam Limo. I work with Keller Williams, and I've had the privilege of working with Faith Kaunga. I remember on my last deal with her, it was an incredible process. So what Faith does is basically pre-qualifies you for how much of a house that you can buy. Then I come in, I do have a process, I call it Streamlined Solution Process, which is a 5 steps. So when Faith basically qualifies you, I take you through the steps, which is first step is the vision of your house, which is basically what you'll have discussed with her. The second one is finding the home. I will be the one to show you what's available in the market for you within the criteria of what you're looking for. Then our step number 3 is basically skill negotiations and offer management. That's when me and Faith will be working hand in hand to make sure that what you qualified for will cover everything that pertains to closing. This will include closing costs. This will include everything else you need, which includes your appraisals, which will take us to step number 4, which is property evaluation and readiness services, to make sure that we get you to closing, which Faith will be there with me like we were at our last closing to celebrate you for taking the chance on yourself and building generational wealth.
My name is Wanjiro Kehara, and I'm a friend of Faith. One thing about Faith is that she has all the faith. I'm saying this because I had tried 3 lenders, and when I approached Faith, she took a different perspective because I'm a business person, so I'm self-employed, and getting a mortgage as a self-employed person, it's quite challenging. But Faith made my process so easy, and actually she even made the deadline. By the time we wanted to close the home, we closed earlier. And I'm so glad that I was able to afford a home because of Faith. And Faith, I'm so grateful for that. And I want to say, if you are looking to buy a house or you want a mortgage for your business, just go ahead and look out for Faith.
I know I've mentioned about closing 46 homes for the last 2 years. So I just want to give shout out to some of the realtors that have make this happen for me. I partner up with them, referring me clients. I also do refer clients to them. You know, John Degwa, Mase Wandia, Beatrice Williams with Keller Williams. I have June and Stan from Houston. So I'm personally licensed.
Yeah, we featured June at some point. Yeah.
Yes, so I'm licensed in Texas. So it means I can give mortgage to anybody in Texas. It doesn't matter the city. So I work with June and Stanford back in Houston. I also work with Roslyn Lamar in Lubbock, Texas. I work with Sam Limoye in Dallas, you know, Sean, Shem, Muiruri, Dennis Nyamwea, Caroline Weche, Steve Kamau, and James Duarte. So those are all my partners that I do work with. Buying a home is just not for the sake of it. It's an investment you're making. So I encourage my buyers also to look at, like when you're buying a house, look at the developing areas because you want to maximize on your equity at the end of the day.
Wow.
Yes.
Faith with lots of faith. And that's how we wind up our discussion with Faith. For the first time, I've featured a Kenyan who is in the mortgage sector, Maju. And I believe we've made this quite insightful.
Thank you. I think probably, I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm also passionate about helping my people. So my motto is making home ownership dreams come true one at a time. Making
home ownership dreams come one at a time. On that note, we wind up with the interview with Faith Kiunga. Asante sana for watching.
Thank you, Alex.
Faith,
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Asante sana.
Bye.
Okay, bye.